All right, all right. I think it's been a few, maybe even a month, bro. It might even have been a month since I've done an episode, but episode 88, 100 podcast. I brought in my boy Jeremy, owner of Weights and Bakes, right? And also Relax and Vibe, I believe, right? On Instagram. But just a master of a few things, bro. Cooking, working out, just being healthy mindset. What got you fully into that? Into the spiritual, the mental, the physical, just building yourself?
Really, it was life experiences. Growing up, I wasn't always like this. I was very into myself. I didn't have any kind of guidance. I mean, I had my parents and stuff like that, and they were amazing, but I wasn't taking life seriously. I was partying. I was drinking. I was drinking and driving. I was doing all these things, and 3 times while I was back home in Huntsville, Alabama, because that's where I'm from, I started to have car accidents, like just random car accidents. And I remember in high school, I was driving to work, and I had a car accident going to Cheeseburger. Shout out to Cheeseburger. I don't know if they still have that. But I was driving to work, and I tried to beat the yellow light, and I just rammed right into this lady's car, and I almost hit a telephone pole. I came out with just a scratch on my cheek, and I walked out. A week later, I had another car accident. After that, me and my friend were driving home from another friend's house at night. His tire popped, and he just went right into a ditch, and we hit a telephone pole.
No shit.
Couple months goes by, we're drag racing, and yeah, I was living wild.
I have a buddy that grew up in Alabama, and kind of seems like the same type of stories. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So we were drag racing, and this place called Research Park, and a lot of people would just go there and just hang out in a little culture sack, drink, smoke, hang out, and people would just be like, hey, let's set up. And this was back in early 2002. So back in the Fast and the Furious days, people had souped up Hondas and stuff. So I had a friend that he was racing people, and he was like, hey, who wants to get in the car? So I'm like, yeah, I'll go. So I get in the car, and I think there might have been somebody in the back seat. So we're going. He's going. He didn't know that the road stops and into an intersection. He just keeps on going through the intersection, not stopping or whatever, because there was a stop sign. So he just goes straight through it. Well, he tried to stop on his brake when he said, "Oh shit!" His car just kind of did a little flip tail, and we almost hit another pole, but we hit the trees. So I got out of that as well. So man, I just had all these crazy life experiences where I could have been gone, man. So I just believe that I'm here for a reason. So I said, you know what, let me start taking things seriously. And that didn't happen until years down the road.
What was that transition? Where was there a moment where you're like, okay, now I'm finally gonna take it serious? Or was it just kind of slowly over time?
It was slowly. It's kind of like a book, because we all are a book, you know?
Yeah.
So it was slowly. I would try to get my life in order, then I'll fall off again. So it's basically you're just building up, because nobody's just going to change your life just like that.
Just doesn't happen that way.
Just doesn't happen that way. You're going to be tested, and we're human, so sometimes we're going to fall too. So, just years going by, partying, doing crazy stuff. I was working at this gym called Empire Fitness. Shout out to Empire Fitness in Huntsville, Alabama, by way of Madison, Alabama. And I was working there, and I was working there in 2011, and that's when I really started getting into weights and stuff.
Gotcha.
Started lifting weights and stuff. But I was working there, and I would quit, go work somewhere else in restaurant business, come back to fitness. So I really wasn't taking it seriously. But as I got older, I started taking it more seriously. And when I did start taking it seriously and start working on my body a lot more, I got a call from a family friend and this is crazy. He said, Jeremy, I have somebody here that wants to train with you. He wants you to train him. So he was like, but let me tell you something. This guy's going to change your life. And I was like, all right, cool. I'll change.
Let's see what happens. Let's be honest. All right.
I was
Whatever.
Like, all right. So I'll train him. So to come to find out, he's like this like huge like businessman. He and I quote me if I'm wrong, but he was putting Bluetooth in, I think, the Ferrari, the Teslas, and things like that. Him and his company, they would create the Bluetooth for these different cars.
Okay.
So this guy was like well off, and I started training him and things like that. And one day he was like, "What do you want to do with your life?" And I was like, "I don't know. I'm just like training and stuff." He was like, "You need to like go back to school and like, you know, do something because you have potential." And I was like, "All right." I was like, "Yeah, I'm just working here right now." And he was like, "Well, come work with me during the summertime. It'd be like an internship." So I was like, "All right, cool." So I got a job with him in the summer. I just woke up one day and I was like, "You know what? I want to finish college. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I'm going to finish college." And most all of my family went to Tennessee State University. Shout out to TSU, my alumni. So I was trying to get into TSU, and I was like, man, hopefully I can get in. So I applied, get the letter back, I got in. So I'm like, all right, cool. I got a little internship about to start in the summer. I got into TSU.
You're starting to kind of starting to
figure things out, but I'm still rocky, you know.
Yeah, still rocky. I'm still
I'm
still on the edge.
Yeah, I'm still not that spiritual guy, but you know, I'm trying. So I got into college and I got the intern. So I was like, all right, cool. So my family was like, all right, Jeremy, if you're gonna take this seriously, you know, we'll help you out and we'll get you up to Nashville. So I'm like, all right, cool. I started working. I saved enough money because he was paying me. He was paying me pretty well. I've never seen like checks like this before because it was a pretty big company.
Yeah. And
so
he obviously thought high of you. He wanted to see you
and
excel. You know.
Exactly, and it's shocking thinking about it now that how he really did change my life. And so what happened was, fast forward, I get into school. Here's the thing where I say it's rocky.
Yeah.
My first semester totally fucked it up.
Oh my god! You're like, I wasn't prepared. I thought I was.
You got to think about it. Like because I'm older now. I'm like 27 years old. I'm moving out on my own for the first time because I've always just stayed at home with my parents.
Oh, gotcha.
Living on couches. One time my dad threw me out and I was living on friends' couches, man. I was just crazy, man. I was just wilding out. And so when I get to Nashville, I get my own apartment. I'm in Nashville. I'm in college.
You're like finally on your own.
I'm finally on my own. So without that practice, I fucked it up.
You were wild.
I was wilding out. So that next semester, because I want to get a degree into fitness training, and so I went to the counselor and I was like, yo, this is what I want to do. So she's kind of reading me out this whole time I'm coming to her counseling office, and she's like, you don't want to be a fitness trainer. Like, that's not, you like to look good, but you don't really care about other people looking good.
Yeah.
And like, you know, care about the health and things like that. And I was like, wait, what? Yeah. She was like, no, you don't. And I was like, so what do you think I enjoy? She was like, communication would be like a better option for you because you love to talk. You know, when you're in the room, your presence is there. So I was like, all right, communicating. So I looked into that and I got into communications, mass communication, concentrated in integrated marketing. So I got into that, and that was the next semester. Well, during this time, I meet my wife. We've been together for 6 years. I meet my wife while I was in college.
She was at Tennessee State?
She lived in Canada.
What the fuck?
Yeah, I know. This is weird, man.
This is weird, man.
So she's from Canada. We got together from a post on Instagram. She posted this video of this guy, and it was the funniest shit, but nobody liked it. I was the only one that thought it was hilarious. And like, so I laughed at it or whatever. And
you met her through Instagram?
Yeah. And I went into the DMs and I was like, yo, that shit was funny as hell. Who is the guy on Instagram? So she gave me the thing. And then we just started talking. I was like, where are you from? I thought she was from Cali because she was always like by some palm trees and stuff like that. Okay. But she would come down to Cali all the time and visit family. She's Cambodian, so she would always go like to Long Beach or Stockton and stuff. So I was like, are you from Cali? And she was like, no, I'm from Canada. And I was like, and I was nervous, and I was like, "Oh, never mind."
Yeah. I don't know how this is gonna work. I don't know. I don't know.
So I just stopped like sending her DMs for like talking to her messenger for like 2 months. I was like, "Oh my gosh,
that's hilarious."
So I finally started talking to her again. We started getting to know each other, and she was bomb, man. She's like the love of my life, and we just started conversating, and she came to visit me we started dating in January. She came to visit me like in March of 2015. And she visited me. We had I know they say love at first sight, but it wasn't more of the sight. It was more of the feeling. It was like we connected and we bonded so much. The only thing that I kind of was like, about her was when I can't believe you're saying this right now. So and this is so she's like, hey, do you smoke? And I haven't smoked in so long because I'm trying to get my life. I'm trying to get I'm like shit, like I can get us some smoke. Like I'm in college, so I get some smoke or whatever when she gets here. So and she like rolls it up. She's like breaking it down, like rolling it, and I'm like, damn.
You're like, it's a little, damn. I'm like, all right, cool.
Oh, you smoking heavy. So she lights it, and this is where I was like, man, F you. She like lights it. She was like, man, where you get this Reggie from? And I was like, what? Damn. She was like, this is horrible. I was like, my bad.
I hooked you up for some free weed, but all right, yeah, you're right.
I got it from a friend in college. I was like, I guess they got some Reggie up there. So that was the only thing, man. We just started, but we started hanging out, and that was March, and that whole weekend we just hung out together, and we just vibed so hard together. I've never vibed with somebody like that.
She moved from Canada.
She moved to Canada because I couldn't leave because I was in college. I couldn't leave, so we were just madly, and still to this day, madly in love with each other, and we've never had this connection. She didn't, and I didn't before. So she came in March. She moved here in June. Because I couldn't leave because I was in school and I really wanted to finish school. So she has a daughter. She had an 8-year-old daughter at the time, and I was like, "Hey, I can't go right now, but I really want to be with you. We could wait till I graduate, And for some reason, we came up with a plan. She moved down here for me because I couldn't leave. She moved her daughter here, and I took on that responsibility. Okay, this family thing is about to come together, and I'm in college at the same time though. Not married yet, so I just got a girlfriend. Her kid lives with me. I'm in college.
Skip the marriage part. You're kind of ahead.
I'm kind of ahead, and this is all coming at me at once. And I'm like, what? Because before I'm clubbing, drinking, hanging out, just doing whatever, and all of a sudden this hits me, boom, because I found somebody that I really enjoy being with. And from there, we get married in December. We get married in December of 2015. So so basically we dated for about a year.
And then boom,
we got married. We got married at the courthouse in Nashville.
Bro, she's a real one for moving from Canada.
Moving from Canada, man. Trust me, to come to here. And
that must immediately been like, all right, this is a real chick.
This is real, and and Jeremy, don't be on your bullshit.
Don't
go back to doing.
She's taking it serious.
She's really taking it serious. I need to take it serious. So
interesting.
So right when this happens, right when she moves, here's the second semester of January. So I'm talking to her. She moves in, and I'm in the communications department.
Okay.
Now, I'm making A's, I'm making B's, straight A report cards, 3.6 GPA.
You're focused now.
I'm focused now. I'm focused now because now it's not all about me.
That's interesting. There's a lot of times people talk about having another person and they make them mess with them. They take them off the plan, they take them off the mission, and you picked the right one.
I picked
who
the
kind of
right
got
one.
you more into it, more trying to better yourself.
Exactly.
That's what's crazy. A lot of those guys that make it big, like Joe Rogan or some other guys, for example, that are big name guys, man. They always have like a wife that looks like she just kind of handles shit. Like she's not fucking with them. She's not fucking with it. She just knows what they're doing. She knows the plan, and she's there to ride with them.
She's there, and she's just my motivation. Because,
yeah.
From there, now I'm in school. Now here comes my junior and senior year.
Interesting.
And we have, I get married, so now I have a stepdaughter now. She can't work. She can't work because she has to get her work visa to work.
Oh,
because she's from Canada. So I'm going to school, but I'm still trying to provide. So I'm working at Staples and Smoothie King. So
you're just doing whatever.
Yeah, I'm doing whatever to make this work. So while I'm at working at Smoothie King, I was basically just a guy who just made smoothies or mopped the floors at night, close up, and I was working at Staples. Well, I asked them, did they have any kind of manager jobs available or whatever? Because I was like, I have to get something.
A little bit.
Something that, keep us up afloat. So they were like, well, actually, we have an assistant manager job coming in Green Hills, Tennessee, which is like a little suburb out of Nashville. You want to take that? So I was like, all right, cool. I got that. And so I'm the assistant manager. And that worked out, and I worked there for assistant manager for like 5 months. And from there, they opened a store in the YMCA, like a little store in the YMCA, Smoothie King. And they had a guy who was going to go over there to be the manager because he was the assistant manager, but they were going to give him over there. But he quit. So now they're like, hey, Jeremy, we got a store for you if you want to be a manager. A small store just to get your feet off the ground. I was like, all right, cool. I'll do it.
Yeah,
I'll take it. So I take it. Now we're making a little bit more money. I'm making like $33,000, but with tax like 27.
You feel good though.
I feel
you
good.
Gotta manage it.
I'm like, all right,
making
cool.
more than I was.
Exactly, and they give you tips too. You have a little tip jar.
They
give you tips and stuff. So I'm working there. I'm doing my thing, and another store opens where I used to work as just a regular employee.
Oh, okay.
That store opens for a manager position because the manager that was there, moved on to better things. So she said, hey, I love Jeremy. I love his attitude. I love his work. I love his communication. Can you bring him over here to my store? This store was like close to my house too. It was like walking
distance. It was like perfect.
Perfect. So I became the manager of that store. So I'm working, and this is my senior year. My wife gets a job now, so we're on our feet. We're doing our thing now. Yeah. She actually got a job in our apartment complex at the front desk.
Okay.
Doing leases and things. So we're on our feet. She's making pretty good money. And from there, it's my senior year's coming up. Everything's going good. I'm working at Smoothie King, a general manager, and she gets pregnant, and which is our 4-year-old Miss Serenity. She gets pregnant, and now she's working still, pregnant. Shout out to my wife, man. She's a strong one for real, because she didn't have a car either, so she would walk to work.
Wow.
Because I'm at school, but it was in the same complex.
Yeah.
But she would walk to work, and right when she had the baby, she couldn't work. So now I'm a senior in college. About to be a senior in college. I'm taking summer classes as well because I'm trying to graduate. And they said, Jeremy, you got too many credits to graduate in 2017. I was like, man, no, I gotta graduate. I got a baby. I have to get out of here and start providing. So I was like, what can I do? So they're like, you can take these summer classes, and then you're gonna have to take 21 hours or to 19 hours the next semester.
You're gonna have a heavy
load. Yeah. So I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna have to do it. And so I did it. I did the summer school, and my wife wasn't working, so I had to get a job at Domino's. And so I'm working at Domino's and a general manager at Smoothie King. And while I'm there, here's Smoothie King, here's Domino's. They're in the same complex. They're connected too. here's Smoothie King's door, here's Domino's door. So I'm the area man. I'm the general manager at Smoothie King. You know, got my little khakis on or whatever.
Yeah.
Right when I get off from work there,
You're going right to Domino's.
I go take it off, put on some black slacks, the black Domino shirt, the hat, and I just walk over to the next door.
Wow,
yeah, so I'm doing that, and I'm working, but I'm going to school at the same time. So I got 2 jobs: general manager and working at Domino's, and going to school 19 hours. So, and when you do over, I think it's over 18 hours. Maybe I'm wrong, but they will give you you have to sign off by the dean so you can take those classes. So the dean,
it's almost like too much.
It's too much.
Yeah.
So the dean signed off for me. I took the 19. I'm working 2 jobs, and I was like, man, I have no idea how this is gonna work out, but it did, and I graduated on time, December 2017, and from there, me and my wife wanted to move to California. We were like, man, we really want to be out west. We love the West Coast, and so we were like, let's try it out. So we didn't move just yet. It took us about 2 years to get out of here because I had a plan. I said, you know what, I'm gonna try to get a job in healthcare after I graduate, right?
Okay.
And because I knew healthcare was big out here, and so I said, well, how am I gonna get a job in healthcare? Well, one of the guys that I was used to come in regularly at Smoothie King, also, he used to come in, and he would always come in, and he always had like a Vanderbilt tag on, and he was like, hey man, you got a job after graduation? And I was like, no dude, I'm looking right now. He was like, send me your resume and let me see what I can do for you. So I sent him my resume, told him I graduated. He was like, cool. The next day after I did that, he calls me like, hey, you got an interview at Vanderbilt on Monday. You got to be there. And I was like, all right, cool. So got the job at Vanderbilt. Stayed there for about a year.
What was the job?
Patient specialist service. So I would do basically appointments for nurses and nurse practitioners and doctors.
Gotcha.
And just a small gig. Good, better money as the Smoothie King, kind of like $36,000 now. So I'm like, okay, I'm doing my
another
thing.
step up.
Another step up. So it's like it's like steps. So I'm doing that, but I just didn't like cubicle work, man.
That shit sucks, bro.
I didn't really like cubicle work, and the vibe there, man, it was just it was crazy. Not fun at all. And I was working in the cancer clinic, so the oncology clinic, and that's another thing that humbled me too about working there.
Just watching a lot of people
dealing with cancer
treatments
and chemo and things like that, or bone marrow transplants. Like I'm scheduling these appointments, and some days with me coming off with good communication skills, the patients started really, really enjoying my presence because I would talk to them and I wouldn't even bring up their issues. We're talking about basketball. Like I had like a little following. Yeah, it's crazy because I had like a little following when I was there. They would always just come to my cubicle to get their appointment, not trying to like sound like they just wanted to talk to me. It was just because I just brought this ambiance that I wasn't going to talk about their sickness. Talk about football. Let's talk about sports. What your favorite food, things like that. So I stayed there. I did that. The patients were kind of sad when I was leaving, but I had to get out of that because the thing with me was I'm sitting in the cubicle for 8 hours.
It was killing you.
It was killing me. And then you make friends with the person that has cancer. Ooh. And like 2 weeks later, you're about to go schedule their appointment. And on the computer, it'll say deceased. And you just saw that person yesterday.
You literally were just talking to him.
Yeah, you're literally just talking to him like 16 hours ago.
Wow.
And you're like, so I'm getting that kind of thing every week there, every week. And I know whoever has those jobs, shout out to them because you gotta be a strong person. You gotta keep your feelings. But for me, I was like, man, I can't be around this.
My cousin is a nurse in hospice.
Yes.
And she is. I don't know, man. I don't know, bro. She's just a weird one. I don't know. It's something that she likes talking to people when it's like they're going, their last couple days or whatever. I'm like, bro, I don't know if I could handle that.
Exactly, man. And like I said, shout out to like the doctors and even the people who do the appointments and things like that for having that that kind of character to go through those things.
Yeah, exactly.
With the patients. So I stopped working there, went back to Smoothie King. told you I had 6 years of like
Yeah,
Smoothie
yeah.
King experience. So I go back to Smoothie King because I was working at Smoothie King while I was working at Vanderbilt because I still needed extra money.
Uh-huh.
I got 2 daughters, got a stepdaughter, and then I got a other small daughter. So I'm like, yo, I can't work here though. This is killing me. So I said, I'll just work at Smoothie King. But the owner of Smoothie King's, he saw that like I was so used to making the smoothies and I kept the place clean because when I left, the stores were kind of going down because he didn't have that good general manager and stuff. So he was like, are you looking to come back? And I was like, actually, I am trying to come back. He was like, all right. I was like, yeah, what can you pay me? And he was like, I mean, I can give you this. And I was like, well, that's not as much as I'm making at Vanderbilt. But I was like, man, fuck it. I'm just going to go.
It's just better
the better vibe. And I'd rather have a peace of mind than a lot of money. That's just, so I said, all right, I'm going to go back there. Worked at Smoothie King for a year. While I'm working at Smoothie King, the pandemic happens. So they laid off my wife as well. And we're about to move to California because we set a goal.
The pandemic started, you still weren't in California?
No.
That is crazy.
No, I was in California. The pandemic started 4 to 5 months before we were supposed to move to California.
Wow.
Yes.
Like, this is great.
So I'm like, okay, what in the world is going on? So my wife losing her job, they kind of, not really lose, but they were, she worked at Ulta Makeup. So they were laying people off because they were closed or only certain people can be in the store.
Gotcha, yeah.
So they laid her off. So I'm like, all right. So we're about to move because our goal was to move in July. If we could, and even if I didn't have a job or had a job, we're moving out here. We can't just keep it on hold. So I'm like, all right, cool. So I was working at Smoothie King and Vanderbilt. And I said, okay, you know what? I'm going to stop working at Vanderbilt. I'm just going to work at Smoothie King. But I need extra money. So I said, okay, I'm going to do Lyft and Uber. Started doing Lyft and Uber and started doing that every single night. And I would keep one of these, as you can see. I would keep one of these and I would write down, okay, 6 a.m., get up, work out. And then I would just have my day. And then I would do Uber at 7 p.m. till 12 a.m.
Yeah.
I need to make this amount of money.
Okay.
Until I hit that goal, that amount I set for money, I would stay there until I would work there. So I would say $200 on Saturdays. I would have to hit that goal. I couldn't go home till I hit $200. So I would be out to like 4 a.m. My wife would be calling me like, where are you? I was like,
I'm working.
So I would keep this with me. And I would hit that goal and I would save all that money that I was getting from Uber Eats and things. And also I was saving my tips because they would tip you pretty good at Smoothie King if you made good smoothies. So all those tips I would just keep and I would just put it like in a box. And that was our Cali box.
Gotcha.
So eventually we're about to move to California and I get a job out here. Somebody calls me like, Miss Ann Watts at ESP Personnel. She calls me and was like, hey, do you need a job? I saw your resume on Indeed. I see that you worked at Vanderbilt. We're a healthcare. And you remember I told you I wanted to get a job at Vanderbilt so I can get me a job in healthcare. So I got that job in healthcare. So I'm like, all right, cool. We're on the move. We're about to go. Dang. Right before we're about to leave, a month before we're about to leave, I had to get my car fixed. And I had to spend $800 on getting the car fixed.
So it just kind of put a little wrench in everything?
Yep, but listen to this. I was getting my car fixed, and when I paid him the $800, I drive off. It's still not fixed. And then I go back to him. I was like, hey. He was like, oh, yeah. He was like, we saw that, but we thought you wanted this done, so we fixed that you had done. But the other thing, we can't fix that. So I just spent $800, and this is coming out of our Cali fund because we needed a car. So I was like, all right, cool, whatever. Stay positive.
Wow.
So from there, I stayed positive. We only had one car because I sold that car. It was like a Dodge Charger. It was like a black Dodge Charger, but it didn't have an engine or a transmission. So I sold it for like $500 to somebody. I took that $500, I put it back in the Cali account. Negative $300 because it's $800.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, cool. Let me do the Uber and I'll get it back. So we finally, get the money. Now we're about to move here. Well, before moving here during the pandemic, I said, man, I can make some extra money maybe selling some food because me and my wife, we would blaze all the time. and we would come up with different creations because we were broke. So we would have like noodle creations or,
like munchie
stuff,
meals,
and with munchie meals. So I started making like protein bites and like protein waffles, but in munchie forms, like blueberry protein waffles with brown sugar toasted with a little bit of a butter cup on the side so you can dip it in the butter.
Gotcha.
So I would do things like that, but I was giving it out for free because I wanted people to try it out before I started,
charging them. Yeah.
And so I would like set up at Smoothie King, like, breakfast of the day or something like that, and have a big bowl of waffles or protein bites, and you could just come in and just pick
way.
one. So people were like, yeah, Jeremy, we love that one. Oh, we love that one. So I got this kind of like following just coming to my store just to get some of the munchies. And I wasn't selling it, I was just giving it out. You buy a smoothie, I'll give you a little munchie.
A little free.
So a little free little bite. So after that,
bro.
we were doing that, and I came up with all the ingredients, and I kept a book, but a little bit bigger, of all my smoothies, because I came up with munchie smoothies as well. And I started creating my own different smoothies at work, and people will come in just to get those smoothies, but they wasn't on the menu.
Yeah.
So the funny thing is with that
it's like a secret menu.
And the funny thing is when I'm not at work, somebody will come in and be like, "Yo, let me get the Berry Blaster 3000," and one of the little girls would be like, "Wait, what? That's not on the menu."
Where do you see that at? Literally,
exactly.
Tell me where.
So I came up with a little menu and I put it in for like my employees. So I started doing that, getting the following with the munchie smoothies now, and now I have those munchies. Gotcha. So now I'm just creating a blueprint for when I come out to Cali. So we get to Cali, the 1st of July of 2020. This is during the pandemic, like in the heart of the pandemic. So I'm like,
everything shut down.
Everything shut down. I got a job though, but I really want to jump right into this food. So I jumped right into it. I just basically really.
Did you have an Instagram or anything made before you got to California?
I had like your regular Instagram,
this one?
No. I made that when I got here. Right when 2 days when I got here, I made that Instagram, and I started delivering food to EOS 2 days after I got here.
Really?
I just started, and I was giving it out. I was just giving it out to people.
Got you. You're like, try
this, and people were loving it. So I was like, all right, cool. I'm gonna go back to the lab. I'm gonna fix some stuff up, and from there, when I was working at the healthcare recruiting, I was like, this is a personal opportunity for me to start letting people try my food here in these cubicles. Hey, I got a protein bite. Hey, try that out. Hey, I made some banana bread. Try this out. So people were trying it, and they were tearing it up. They were like, hey, dude, can I get an order? Protein bites now. So I'm like, all right, cool. I'm in business now. Somebody actually came to me and said they want to buy my product. Yeah, exactly. So I said, all right, cool.
The demand is there.
Yeah, and I'm unorganized. So I'm like, all right, cool. I'll get you an order. Just throw me $20 and I got you.
Yeah.
And so, hey, they did it, and I started having a following at work with my munchies, and people started, hey, Jeremy, I need to order protein bites for Friday when you get to work. All right, cool. Make them on Thursday. But I also was making breakfast in the morning for them, too.
I had your breakfast sandwich, bro. I remember I ordered it. It was so bomb. It was.
Thank you, man. It was, and so I was doing that. And people would text me at work like, hey, Thursday night, like, hey, can you make me a breakfast sandwich or a breakfast burrito? So I would get up at 4 a.m. like I'm working at Burger King or something.
Yeah, making their
meals, prepping their food, making hot breakfast, changing into my suit and tie and stuff, and then going into work with brown bags handing out. So I had weights and bake in this like
crazy.
in this company that I was working. So I was doing that. I met Mr. Joe. Shout out to Mr. Joe at Spartan Nutrition. I met him.
I've only heard good things about that guy. I never really talked to him, but I've only heard good things.
He's a great man, and he saw my product, and I gave it to him and his wife, Miss Donna, and they were eating it too, and they were loving it, and they were like, "Hey, man, I'll support small business, so you can put your stuff in here if you want."
Yeah.
So I started to put my stuff in his store, but I know it was a small business. I didn't want to I didn't know how to go about with the money. You remember I was telling you about with the money, and inventory and stuff. So I was like, you know what? I don't want to put my stuff in here for free. He's not paying me. He's not saying you owe me rent, Jeremy, or nothing like that. He's just saying you can put my stuff in there. I said, well, let me do this, Mr. Joe. Let me work for you. Let me work for you on Saturdays, And, you know, if you want to pay me, you can, but I'll work for free just so I can put my protein bites in your store. And he was like, all right, I'm not going to let you work for free. I'll pay you too.
Yeah.
So on Saturdays, I started just putting my protein bites in there on Saturdays. And what I would do on Instagram, I would say, hey, fresh protein bites Saturday at Spartan Nutrition, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Come get them. And I would do that. I did that for months. Every Saturday I would have protein bites. Friday night, that was my time to go get McDonald's for my 2 daughters, go get a bottle of yellowtail wine for my wife, and go make some protein bites. I had them quite...
Yeah, like, you're good. Now it's my time.
Yeah, so I would just make protein bites and sell them on Saturdays. So I was doing that, and people were coming in. People were, like, knocking on the door, like, hey, you got any bites left? And I'm like, no, I ran out. So... couple months later, which is now, I get laid off from my job. And I'm like, all right, I got to do something. So I just went right into the company.
Yeah.
I said, this might be the calling that I need, because if with me being as nice as I am, I probably would have just stayed at a job. I wouldn't know how to quit, you know?
Exactly. Yeah,
I would have just been staying there. So, you know, the universe, God, or whatever, you know, whatever people believe in, I just believe, like, they're like, all right, I'm going to take you out this situation, and I want you to dive into this.
Yeah.
And so that's what I did.
Let you, like, live up to your potential.
Live up to my potential. And I was already reading before, like, spiritual books and things like that, but I was still human, so I would still have get anger and stuff like that. But I told myself on this New Year's, you know, people make New Year's resolution. I told myself that I am going to take my spirituality to a higher level. So while I'm working at ESP, I cleaned out my desk. I got everything in, like, some feng shui. I'm reading a lot of Buddha books. I'm reading the Bible as well on my break. Like, you get a 15-minute break at lunch. I'm always reading my Bible. I'm always reading different kind of positive books and things. And I started doing yoga at work, just meditating. So I'm on this positive journey. In January, I get hit and get laid off. So I'm like, what?
Yeah,
I thought I'm doing everything.
You're like, damn, bro.
Yeah. So I thought I was doing everything right, and so I get laid off. But here's the thing: you are doing something right when you're on your spiritual path. Your spiritual path doesn't mean, like, everything is just going to be gravy, flowers.
Exactly,
you know, there's still going to be times where you're going to have bumps and bruises, but while you're on that spiritual path, you'll know how to handle those bumps and bruises. So I say, you know what? I'm not going to get in a funk. I'm not going to do any of that. I just dove right into my business. Now, I don't have that job anymore. I wake up at 6:20 like I was doing before with the job, but I get to do my yoga now. I get to read more. So I get up every morning. I do my yoga. First, when I get up in the morning, I write it down. I say I wake and think. I wake, I think. From there, I go into my yoga. Once I do my yoga, I do 5 minutes. I'm still working on my yoga, because yoga is, you know, to be in a consciousness where you focus on one thing with nothing thinking, it's pretty hard, because you're thinking about all kinds of stuff. So it's getting better now. I'm not gonna say I'm some yoga guru, but I'm getting better at it. But from after that, I would do my devotion. I would read from the Bible, and also read from the Dalai Lama book, getting 2 perspectives. You know, if I can have all the spiritualities, I can give it all to me, man. I'll take it all. So I was doing that, and I'm doing that, and from there I'll go to the gym. After the gym, I fill out 3 job applications. I gave myself that I have to fill out 3 job applications. Not that I want to go back to a 9-to-5, but I have to put something out there. At least 3 job applications a day. From there, I work on my company from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. You want to give for me, I want to give my 8 hours now to strictly for my company, because I was giving 8 hours to another company.
How do you feel like that's working for you? So far.
It's working. You know what? It's working great, man, because these little things that I have, like the ingredients, the nutrient facts, the menus for the incense, the menu right here. I couldn't have got anything done doing that when I was working that.
That was one of the big things that was hard for me when it's to order was like to know what's in them, what you got. Yeah, what's in the protein bites.
And which ones do you have? So when I had a chance to sit down and focus on me instead of focusing on somebody else's dream, I had a chance to focus on my dreams. Yeah. And when you do that, that's when your dreams started coming together.
Exactly. Yeah.
And that's when we came up with the logo and everything else, and now everything is golden, man.
What was the incense? Were you doing that already when you were doing the protein bites?
Yeah,
I was that already. Hold on, I'm gonna show these people the protein bites.
Yeah, go ahead, man.
Just want to show them the heat, bruh. What are these ones called? Which ones
Those are the pretzel clusters. So the pretzel clusters is peanut butter, oats, honey, crumbled pretzels inside, dried cranberries, coconut flakes, walnuts, and drizzled cranberries. Drizzled caramel. I'm sorry. And the nutrients facts on those, because those are like our healthiest. The calories on that is 200. The fat is 10 grams. The carb is 15 grams, and the protein is 10 grams.
That's not bad at all, actually.
And
I thought there'd be more carbs, honestly.
Yeah, and the reason why it was more carbs and fats, but I've been, as I told you, I've been working in the lab on this, so I was trying to get it as healthy as possible. Yeah. So I took out more nuts, and I took down the carb and the fat as well. Got you. And I also took no protein in it, and so I didn't put any like protein powder in or anything like that. That kind of took it down as well. So and also this lady saw. She saw I did a take a hike, which the take a hikes are kind of like the pretzel clusters, and she was like, "Hey, can I get the take a hikes?" So this is when I'm coming up with the menu. This is like a couple weeks ago, and I was like, "Yo, let me do this, but let me add this to it. Take this out, and that's when I came up with the pretzel cluster.
Oh wow! So it's a new one.
So it's a brand new one, man.
Oh, shit.
And the Marley, all these are brand new, and just every bite on here is brand new. I just came up with these when I lost my job.
Oh, okay, got you.
The thing is, I was making protein bites.
Yeah, you were.
But I
already
had
them.
I just didn't. Bro,
I had them like a year ago.
Yeah, I didn't have a name. I got all this information, all these stories and these trials behind me. That's my gear. Boom. All right, Jeremy, you know what you're doing now. You got all these ingredients for your smoothies from working at Smoothie King, and you got all your ingredients.
You ever thought about doing a pop-up, like a food pop-up, or like any of those food events? You know how they have like those there's the apartment complex right next to EOS. They always have like the neighborhood event where they have.
Yeah,
like,
I did. I saw that when I first moved here. I saw a pop-up there. I saw a bunch of pops up there right across the street from EOS. But we have a pop-up at T's Gym. Saturday.
Yeah, there you go.
Saturday. So that's
what's the date? Saturday. I don't even know. Is it March? Is it in March by the time?
Saturday is March.
Yeah.
So tomorrow is March the 1st.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it's, tomorrow's March the 1st. So it's this Saturday, and he told me to get there at around 11:30. So I'll have every bite here, there, and also I'll be doing the let us take the wheel. And also, that means that I'll bring different ingredients in, and instead of you picking what you want, if you're like, dude, I can't decide, they all look good, come up with something for me. So I might just come up with your own bite. You tell me what you like. Oats, you like dry cranberries. Kind of like if you go to Cold Stone or Subway, you can create your own sandwich. You can create your own protein bite, fresh protein bite. So
you're going to make it right then and there?
Right then and there. Yeah,
that's pretty legit.
Yeah, man, right then and there. So right when you get done with your workout, you can come by me and I'll make your own fresh protein bite,
Yeah.
So we got that going, and then from there, EOS wants me to do a pop-up there.
That would be cool. Are you bringing any of these, your incense?
Yes, we'll have incense there. So basically, wherever Weights and Bake goes, it's going to be a vibe. It's going to be a vibe. It's going to be a vibe. Everywhere we go, it's going to be a vibe. Everywhere we go, it's going to be a vibe. And it's going to be relaxed and chill. And, and whoever knows me out there knows that I just love to talk and, and get to know people. I think a lot of us that's going away from social media and stuff, is talking to people and getting to know people. And that's the brand of Weights and Bake, is relax vibe. You don't have to come in and try to be cool or anything like that. I want to take you as you are. You come into our place as you are, and we're going to accept you as you are. I don't care what politics you got, none of that. You leave that at the door. You come in there, and I'm accepting you as a human, and I want to feed you.
That sounds perfect. Man.
So yeah, I have that going.
What is your goal for 2022? Before we wrap it up, what's your goal this year with weights and bake, relax and vibe, like the whole business? What do you want to? What would be if you could accomplish one thing this year with it? What would it be?
A peace of mind.
A peace of mind. You like just feel like it's working for you, or what?
Yeah, and it is. It is. It's working for me to a point now where I'm not worried, because moving out to California with 2 kids and a wife, and we don't have any family out here. It's just us and our company.
Really?
Yeah. We just moved out here, and we moved out here with 2 mattresses and on the floor.
You are a savage, man. And you moved to California, the most expensive state. Pretty much
people were telling me, people even here were telling me, hey, it's too expensive. Why would you move here, Jeremy? Or people in Nashville, are you about to move out there? It's so expensive. Well, for me, I do everything what they tell you not to do. I go the other direction. Everybody goes this direction. That's how I am too, bro. I go this direction. Exactly. And by the grace of God, man, we moved out here, and everything is just building up. So 2022, just a peace of mind, and just growing our brand. Because it's not Weights and Bake and Relax and Vibe, which are brought to you by Weights and Bake. It's the incense. It's not just incense and food. It's a brand, and it's a way of life. Because like I said before, you come into our place, you come around us, the only thing you're gonna get is good vibes and a good smelling incense.
You start making some stickers or anything, bro?
I'm gonna go make, because I have stickers now, which is the ones that you saw, those small ones I got from Staples. I'm going to make the big round ones. Actually, I'm going to call some people today to see if I can get some big round ones. So I'm gonna have those for like your cars and like your snowboards and things like that. Other than that, man, my strength is communicating, but my weakness is the pop-ups, because I've just been going through Instagrams and stuff like that, making my moves. But if I could do more pop-ups in 20,
I get why though, because obviously if you can get the Instagram, you can get the orders. It's a lot easier to keep track of just like doing, not just bringing. I don't know how many I should bring, and I hope you don't know how many customers are going to be there. And I don't know
anybody here, so and Palm Desert, it seems like a really like family community kind of. It's not huge like LA and stuff. So so I didn't know like who to talk to get a vendor set up. So I was just going through Instagram. But from once I got laid off, I started going to different places. Like, hey, I do this. Hey, what can I do to like become, one of your vendors and do a
starting the conversation.
Starting the conversation now. Yeah. I didn't have that before because I was filled up from Monday to Friday, 9 to 5. And then when I get home, I was making protein bites. So I didn't have reason to research and things like that. So 2022, just a peace of mind, which is going great because my spiritual and my yoga and my stretching and
I need to get deeper into that, bro. The yoga, man, all that, the spiritual. I need to really push in that direction.
And I got you some incense.
What are some of the scents you got for the incense?
So I got this is the patchouli. This is the original patchouli. So this is like basically it's for grounding, aphrodisiac and emotions. Okay. So it's just real earthy. Patchouli is a plant.
Oh dang, that smells good. Check it, bro. The incense. I think you have one. Do you have one burning still, or did it already start?
That was the Naga, and the Naga Champa. Those are basically. I think. Yeah, the Naga Champa is basically like I don't make the Naga. The Naga is like from the 19th.
You want to light one, bro? And then I want to show it on the camera.
Yeah.
Real quick.
I'll light
the peeps before we close it out.
Yeah. Let's light the Venice. This is the Venice. This is
the incense, bro. And they can hit you up on Weights and Bake.
Weights and Bake,
either way, or Relax
you can do Weights and Bake for the incense, or at Relax and Vibe as well. Because
shoot them a follow on both.
I put it on both, so you can actually call it a vibe pack. So you can get 6 protein bites and 6 incense as well for $30. And that's called the vibe pack. So on a weekend after you get done with the gym, get you some protein bites, light you an incense, enjoy this Cali life.
Those bundles are always the way to go, bro. That's all people like, the little mixture. They feel like they get a little bit of everything,
Yeah, exactly, man. And I didn't even know. My wife told me about that. She's the one that got me into, maybe you should do some bundle deals and things like that. So it was all her. But this is the Venice. This is basically patchouli and lavender. So the Venice, grounding, aphrodisiac, emotions, relax, stress, anxiety, and sleep. So you light this one right before you go to bed after a good workout.
Got
you.
you.
You can light this up.
What is the main goal of an incense? Because I've never even used them before. Just to be
It's just
100%.
basically, incense are from thousands and thousands and thousands of years ago. So basically, it calmed, and for calming. They
Let me see that real quick. Let me see.
Yeah. Go ahead.
You have it sitting on this thing too?
Yeah.
Bro? This thing's legit. Get the incense going.
Yeah, man. And that's and
Hey, man. It smells so good.
Yeah,
too,
man.
honestly.
And all of our oils that we use for our incense are all natural oils. So there's nothing cutting them to make more like DPG, which is basically sulfate. We don't put any of that. It's all natural essential oils that we get from our neighbors at Sub Rosa over in La Quinta. She's been 30 years in the game of making different oils and things like that. So I got in touch with her. So I get all my oils from her, and the incense will be in her store here pretty soon.
And where's your store at?
Sub Rosa over in La Quinta, right by Del Taco.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
I think it says natural medicine on the.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Right in there.
It's that little building that's kind of right next to Del Taco to the side. It's got 2 stories, kind of.
Yeah, if you pass there, if you go in, there's like a gym over there too.
Yeah.
Right there, right next to the gym, you'll see her place, and she's been in the business for essential oils for over 30 years, and she's been to all over the country getting different plants and stuff. So all of our oils are either from Morocco, India, Australia, Egypt, Somalia. And there's just base oils, no cut additives.
Just all natural.
Just all natural oils. And yeah, man, so we have that going, and the bites, and...
This is a pretty informational podcast, bro.
Yeah, man, thank you.
Thank you, everything,
Yeah, man, I've been through so much, not like, nothing crazy, but as in just trying to figure out this life,
Yeah.
And I'm blessed to be still here.
It seems like you're a grinder, bro. You're a grinder, so you should be getting... you should be getting everything you want. You're working 3 jobs at one time. You're fucking going to school. You're starting your own business, bro. You're a grinder, bro.
Yeah, man.
Those are the guys that make it, man.
Thank you.
Those are the guys that make it.
Thank you, brother.
Episode 88. Jeremy, Weights and
guys.
Bake, Relax and Vibe. Give him a follow on Instagram.
Thank you.
You have him on anything else? YouTube or anything?
No, just Instagram at Relax and Vibe, and then Weights and Bake _ and you can DM me. For the food, it's best to DM me on Weights and Bake. For the incense, you can do Weights and Bake or Relax and Vibe. It's all good.
Episode 88 and at T's Gym, Desert Metro Fitness.
T's Gym, Saturday, 11 a.m.
Peace out.
See ya.